He's back. Governor Ron DeSantis has returned from his mysterious 2-week vacation. Now, on his return, some people have noticed that he might not be looking too good. In fact, there's some video out here of recent press conference where he's talking about Florida semiconductors, very important stuff. And a lot of people noticed that, again, he's struggling.
Who's our Florida DEO secretary. We also have Chancellor Henry Mack from the Florida Department of Education. Brad Ferguson, Senior VP and General Manager, Skywater, Florida, and Dale Miller, Site Director, Skywater, Florida, as well as Representative Fred Hawkins. And we've worked really hard in Florida to have more opportunities with vocational education. We have expanded our manufacturing footprint in the state of Florida, and we want to continue to be able to do that as we go forward. If you look at how the supply chain works, we are overly dependent on foreign nations, including Taiwan, which is a good ally of ours, but which is one that, is.
You okay, bro? I mean, you feeling all right? You don't sound good. You don't sound good at all. I mean, you're a little out of breath. Maybe you need to take it a little easy. Oh, what are you talking about? He just came back from a 2-week vacation. No, I don't think it was a vacation at all. And again, this is speculation here, but let's just say this. I'm not saying he has COVID, but he might have COVID. Just saying. Or at least be at the tail end of recovering from COVID, which could explain that aforementioned 2-week absence. Again, he disappears during a massive COVID surge, and we're not supposed to be suspicious at all. I mean, either he came down with something, or he was getting a little over-emotional about semiconductors. I mean, to be fair, I do too cry sometimes over technology. It's just so goddamn beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't disappear from my job for a couple of weeks and come back struggling to breathe. Just saying. So again, there are people that have noticed, and they're weighing in. I'm gonna read some comments here. Here's Brian Tyler Cohen saying, I'm not saying Ron DeSantis has COVID, but I really encourage everyone in that room to quarantine for the next 10 days. Maybe get some tests, you know. I mean, that is if you can find a COVID test. But you can't. At least not in this country. Go to every other country, you know. They have COVID tests, but here in America, for some reason, we just can't seem to find any. I'm not sure why. Very, very strange. Very strange. Might have something to do with, I don't know, pretty not great COVID response from the current president of the United States. And that's just, you know, after the also even worse COVID response from the former president, which, of course, Ron DeSantis has taken after quite a bit. Now, Stephen Round, a Twitter user from St. Louis who said he's been a lung doctor for 35 years. Here's what they posted. To my very experienced eyes and ears, there's a respiratory issue. His phrasing, limited breath support, and use of accessory muscles and respiration are telling. It doesn't confirm it's COVID-19, you know. Not that I would do, of course, even consider doing like a actual diagnosis from watching a clip. And neither does he, but he's like, oh man, that looks really suspicious. And he says, something appears to be wrong. Something appears to be wrong. Journalist Will Bunch said, look, this is how I've been talking this week. I've got COVID-19. All right. Again, it doesn't prove it. A tweet from the account Duty to Warn also said the governor clearly struggled with breathing today. He looked lousy. His chest heaved repeatedly, and he sounded like he has or had COVID. All right. Again, don't know, can't tell specifically. But all I can say is he didn't look good. Didn't look good at all. Looks pretty bad. Michael Harriet also tweeted, I'm not saying Ron DeSantis has COVID. I'm just saying he disappeared for 2 weeks with no public appearances and came back breathing real funny. Look, this is one of those times where I wish he would be honest with the voters in Florida. I'm just, look, he could just come out and be like, oh, no, I've got the flu. Or I've got flu-rona. That's a thing. Or I got sick. I don't know. Just come out and at least be honest about what's going on. Because being maskless when you have something wrong, as he does, either that or he got done running a marathon before he went to that press conference. Because again, not looking good at all. He's putting his entire staff in, maybe not like deadly danger if they're all vaccinated, which again, it's Florida, so you don't know. But like, you're putting them at risk of getting whatever he has. It would be kind of respectful to your own staff. Maybe we'll find out in a good week or so if the rest of the people that are in this building or that were in that conference started not showing up for work and coming down sick. But here's the thing, right? He shares a lot of blame, obviously, in this. If he had COVID, it looks bad for him, right? And it looks bad because of his own policies that he had been pushing. Now, he passed anti-mask mandates, anti-vaccine mandates in the state of Florida, against some of the cities, by the way. And some of the cities are like, no, we believe that there should be a mandate. And he said, no. We believe in big government here. And my government's bigger than your government. And so I'm going to say you can't do a mask mandate. Take that. And then push for Regeneron. Now, Regeneron actually works. It is a treatment for severe COVID. Now, Regeneron also happens to be incredibly expensive, about $2,500 for a full set of treatment, right? I believe it's a 2-course treatment, and there seems to be a shortage here. I wonder why there's a shortage. Oh, right, Omicron. Because there's been a gigantic spike in Omicron cases in the state of Florida and a lot of different places. And so, look, there's a shortage because a lot of people are taking it. And then you also have, I believe it's also fairly difficult to make, or at least time consuming to make and expensive. The vaccine, however, it is free for us for now. Big Pharma might change that in the future. But it works and it prevents serious illness. And we just happen to have enough vaccines for, well, at least everybody in this country, because we're not sharing it with the rest of the world, which we should. But we do have a lot of vaccines. I mean, it seems obvious what should happen. But, whatever. DeSantis doesn't really care as far as I can see. And so if he did have COVID, if he did actually get COVID, if he is sick, well, then I guess this would just be one more confirmed case of fuck around and find out.